Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson is heading to the Super Bowl for the second time in 2 years, with only 3 years in the league. This season, Wilson has set the NFL record for most regular season wins by a quarterback in the first 3 years, armed with 1 Super Bowl ring and 2 Pro Bowl appearances. But up to the point that the Seahawks came along, no teams in the NFL were willing to bet on Wilson. And Wilson had a lot going for him. He had learned Wisconsin's playbook in about 21 days after a short stint playing with Major League Baseball's Colorado Rockies, and he led the Badgers to a Big Ten championship. But he was passed over by many NFL scouts based largely on the fact that he was only 5 foot 10 inches tall. The stigma against short quarterbacks is based on the assumption that they find it hard to see over tall linemen. But New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees, another short quarterback, told me that a good quarterback actually doesn't have to see his receivers.
I don't see the place that I throw before I throw it all the time. In fact, probably very few times. I trust that my guy's going to be there. I know the coverage. I know where the defenders are, and I know that there's not somebody where I'm going to throw this ball.
When the Wall Street Journal interviewed Wilson in 2012, just a few days before the NFL draft, we asked him why he thought he was qualified to be drafted. When you go into the draft, there are people that are saying you won't go until maybe the 4th round, and that's because you're a little shorter, not as big as your average starting quarterback. Don't you think you should probably go higher?
Well, I'm the exception to the rule. I'm trying to be the exception to the rule by the way I play. I believe that I have all the tools. I believe I have the mental aptitude. I just need an opportunity.
Right.
And whatever team takes me, whether it's the first pick overall or the 200th pick.
When Wilson was eventually drafted, the Seahawks took Wilson very late in the 3rd round and as the 75th overall pick in the draft. And because he was only a rookie, they got him for a steal. Wilson's first year salary was only $390,000 with a signing bonus of about $155,000. That compares to a base salary of about $7 million for Tom Brady. And Wilson still isn't paid much compared to many others. His current base salary is about $800,000, making him the 3rd highest paid Seahawks quarterback and one of the lowest paid starting quarterbacks in the NFL. That low salary is based on the NFL's 2011 collective bargaining agreement, which locked Wilson and other rookies into contracts for 3 years. This year, he'll finally be eligible to negotiate a new contract. And after seeing his profile rise, Wilson has scored endorsement deals with several companies, including Microsoft and Duracell. It's now looking like Russell Wilson is set to possibly become one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL at the end of this season. And a second Super Bowl victory for the Seahawks in just 2 years would certainly help.